What's up, guys? This is Brennan, aka Drip, back with another deck profile. And on this deck profile, if you can't already tell, it's going to be on Cyber Dragon. Just not normal Cyber Dragon, though, but Cyber Dragon Orcust, which is, in my opinion, the best version of the deck, besides the OTK pure version. Of course, you'll see the artifact build and everything else like that. I decided to go ahead and make a updated Cyber Dragon Orcust. I played this deck for a while now. I played this deck before it was even really relevant, before it took over the meta and pretty much got Mermaid banned along with Harp Warrior and everything else. I decided to go ahead and do a profile on this because Cyber Dragon is a unit, but not just the Orcust, because the Orcust is up there too, but Cyber Dragon is one of my all-time favorite decks. It just has the nostalgia factor and the fact that it is pretty much reminds me of my childhood and everything. I decided to make a video on it to follow in the footsteps of my favorite decks so far, my first few favorite decks. I will have a Thunder Dragon deck profile, a competitive one, on the channel sometime soon, within the next coming week or so or later. So be on the lookout for that. Because it's right up there with my all-time favorite decks. It's probably honestly up there before this one and before Galaxy Eyes. Blue Eyes will be my all-time favorite, and then Thunder Dragon's next, and then these guys are they're all tied for second place, honestly. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into the profile. To start off, pretty standard, honestly. For the most part, it's standard. We're running 3 Cyber Dragon. Has to be either ulti or the 2006-10. Has to. There's no way around it. 3 Cyber Dragon. It's just like a Galaxy Eyes deck, just like a Blue Eyes deck. You can't run less than 3. There's just no point. So you run 3 Cyber Dragon, just because Cyber Dragon, and you run 3 of the best normal summon in the deck. 3 Cyber Dragon Core. Him and Machine Dupe, everybody knows, is just if you're going to ash it or you're going to lose, pretty much. Core is just gross, and the banish effect too, if they break your board, is really good as well. So Core is self-explanatory. Then we run 3 Hers. Searches your Cyber Dragon, and comes back to be a level 4. It's a really good secondary option. And then we only run 2 Naster. The reason why we only run 2 Naster is because we do not really want to see it. We want to search it, or you definitely don't want to see multiple copies. Literally, this card is only in there to get your Orcust cards out of your hand. And then a little cool fun tech that you can do with this card is this card can actually revive Dingirsu in this deck, because Dingirsu meets the requirements to special summon it because it has 2100 or less defense. It has 2100 defense. There you go. You can discard Orcust, special summon this, like on turn 2 or whatever, and then special summon Dingirsu to send away if somebody, like, let's say for an example, called by the grave or banished your skeleton and you have no other way. So that's another cool tech, if I know some people might not know, or some people may already know. And then last 2 cards of the Cyber Dragon engine really is the 2 pretty much Cyber Dragon cards, Galaxy Soldiers. Everybody knows what this does: pitch, search, pitch, summon, and then overlay into whatever rank 5 you see necessary. And next engine is the Orcust engine. One thing I like to mention, we are running the scrap engine, just so people know. Scrap engine is really good for the Orcust engine nowadays. We are not running Girsu, so just a heads up on that, make it a little bit more budget friendly. We're running 2 skeleton and 2 wand. 2 skeleton I feel like is necessary, because sometimes you can draw it in hand. If you're anything like me, you draw all the 1-ofs that you could possibly ever draw. So you still want one in the deck for combo. And with the scrap engine and the certain part of the scrap engine we run, well, another tech card we run makes a scrap engine. You get everything in the graveyard you could possibly need, and some. Like, you run out of cards to dump, honestly, with the combo. And that is all pretty much for the Orcust engine in the main deck, monster-wise. We are running, I know a lot of people are going to disagree, but I run 2 scrap and 1 golem. The reason why is part of the combo, we search scrap. Yes, I understand it is better to run 3, and honestly, I would run 3, but it's just the fact that I'm trying to trim down my deck as much as possible, and I don't want to see multiples of it because you just search it anyways. Golem is disgusting. It's not as hard once per turn, and it's just gross. But we only run 2 recycler and 1 golem. That's it for the scrap engine. On to the spells. We run, like, if you see my other deck profiles, I always say this about certain decks, the 3 god cards of this deck, because everybody knows Machine Duke, Core, Ash or lose. What do you got, bro? Oh, you don't have none? Okay, you lose. Core, bring out, tutor out your Cyber Dragons. Now this card is more accessible now with dual overload, so it makes it more budget friendly. Yes, it still might be out of some people's budget, honestly, being a $12 card, but hey, at least it's not a 30-some dollar card, so that helps. Cyber Emergency, 3 of, self-explanatory, searches whatever you need monster-wise for Cyber Dragons. The next card is not really a budget-friendly card, and I know some people probably tired of seeing it in my deck profiles if you've seen it in other deck profiles, but in this current format, in the current state of the game, you have to be able to put something in your main deck that can, if you lose a dice roll like I do all the time, then you have to have something in your deck in order to either play through their field or break their field. And the 3 cards I decided to main deck is 3 Lightning Storm. I know it's not budget, but this card is so good. The reason why I opt to main deck this card instead of Dark Ruler is the fact that this card can take care of monsters or back row. If you have Dark Ruler and you're going in blind and you don't know where you're playing, then you could just sitting on a dead card. So that's why I vote to play Lightning Storm. Now the budget versions of this card is Dark Hole. That is the real budget card, which if you see my other videos, every time I involve this card, I'm still going to mention it just in case if people have not seen my previous videos. For the monster version is Dark Hole and Dark Ruler No More, of course. Those 2 are the budget options. Dark Ruler No More is a little more, obviously more expensive than Dark Hole, but if you don't want to spend like $6-7 on a single, then you can go ahead and pick up Dark Hole, because Dark Hole has like 1,000 printings. It's OG. So that's my blind second package. Continue with the spells. We have 2 Orchestrated Return, which is not really that budget friendly either, but you can still get away with running getting 2 of these, because there's not very many expensive cards in this deck, honestly. If this, like, for example, you didn't want the Lightning Storms and you went with Dark Holes, this would be the most expensive card really in your main deck, probably. I know it's like $28, $29, but 2 of these you'll need them because they help tutor out your Orcust cards in your hand, and you get free draws off of it. You do not need 3 of this card if you're running near the same count. If you were running Gearsu in this deck, I would opt to actually run this at 3, but we're not running it because this is a normal summon centric deck, and in order to get our Cyber Dragon stuff off, we would have to normal summon our Core or some other kind of Cyber Dragon for that matter. And normal summoning Gearsu would not benefit us that much. It would actually hurt us more than benefit us. So with the lineup we got Orcust wise, only 2 return do you need. And now for the 1-ofs. 1 Rev System, 1 Repair Plant. I know, not 2, just 1. you're only really going to resolve this once anyways, because if you go first, you're going to set up a board, and if they can't break it, you're going to OTK, and even if they do break it, there's still a chance you can OTK. And then Foolish Burial, World Legacy Succession, which I'll show you the little card we're running if a lot of people don't already know what's in the extra deck, why we're running this card, not just for the normal fact that to be able to be a Monster Reborn, but I'll show you. And our OTK card, Overload Fusion, this card is so busted. So busted. With what we're running in the extra deck, it is disgusting. You can get one of your extra deck monsters up in turn 2 to like 20,000 attack points. It is insane with this card. But you don't want to see multiples up because you want to be able to still combo off because it's easily accessible through a card in our extra deck. And the last spell is Babel. Should have been banned, needs to be banned, but I'm not gonna hate if they don't ban it because I love Orcust. I always have. And then I only run 2 trap cards in the deck. 1 Overflow, one Crescendo. Normally I would run 2 and 1. But I decided to just run 1 because I have to trim out and I can just search it when necessary, and I would rather see a combo piece in my hand if I bricked than this, honestly. Because if you resolve this once, it's all you really need, because sadly Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't really last past 3 turns, as sad as that is. So you're only going to really resolve that once or twice. Once, really. But on to the extra deck. All day, every day. But, a lot of it's standard. For the links, we're running 1 Almirage, which is a lot. I mean, it's easier and accessible now with dual overload. It's like $2. I actually have one for sale on my my eBay page right now. Platinum Gadget for the combo. Masquerena, one of the most expensive cards you'll probably have in your extra deck. But if you didn't want to pay for it, just hold off. I'm pretty certain it's going to be reprinted in August anyways. But if you want to play the deck like now, sadly, you have to have it. And then Scrap Wyvern. Combo, pretty much self-explanatory, honestly. And then we have Blade Master. This is our Succession card. Because this card takes the Scrap Engine and takes it from being a +1 to +2 into like potentially a +4, because you get the original +2 and then you get additional +2 off of this card. Because since Golem is a soft once per turn, what you do is you go into your Scrap Engine, your Scrap combo, and then links the Scrap stuff away into Blade Master. And since you send a World Legacy, you send a World Legacy first off of Recycler. And then since the World Legacy is in the graveyard, you can activate her effect to search Succession, and then Succession to bring back Golem, Golem to bring back Recycler, and keep dumping stuff away and away and away and away and away. It just sets up your graveyard pretty much to where you can play anything you want from the graveyard, and then also OTK the following turn. And with that OTK card is Predator Plant Anaconda, if people didn't already know. This card is so dumb. Definitely in this deck, and you'll probably hear me say that several other times if I have it in any other profile. But in this deck, it is ridiculous. Because you set up your graveyard and you just pretty much win. If you would like me to, I'm going to go ahead and say this, if you would like me to show you in a combo video, just to show combo videos on the combos and then show you how we OTK with this card, please get this video to 15 likes, because we actually met the 10 requirement for last time. I'm going to go ahead and up it because we have more subs and we're getting more views, and I believe in you guys. I believe in the DDD fam. So get this video to 15 likes and I'll show you guys how you can OTK with this card easily. And then the next on the list, that's not really budget, but it's a great card, is Avermax. Avermax protects your field, protects himself, and when you use Masquerade to go into him, he can't be targeted, he can't be destroyed by card effects. You have to attack him, not the rest of your monsters, etc., etc., etc. And you can also gain the attack of opponents' monsters attacked. And what's crazy is it's not even the original attack. So like say you're playing heroes, for an example, and they use Honest Neos, well, whatever his attack goes up to, Evermax will gain his entire attack. It's not original attack. It's really good. But if you can't afford him, I completely understand because he's kind of pricey. The budget option for him, I would go ahead and let you guys know now, is Long Gearsu, the Link 3. That is the budget option for him because he's like probably like 50 cents. I wouldn't go with anything else, honestly. I would just go with Long Gearsu. And then obviously the Galateas. Got to give a like for the Ulti Galateas, man. Galateas for some reason going up to like 50 bucks. Kind of crazy. Got to drop a like for the Galatea. Come on now. I believe in you guys. But I wouldn't play 3. 1's not enough. And 2's usually been standard for the most part for a while now. And that's it for the links. For the XZs, standard, Nova, Infinity. You don't need more than one of these because you only run 2 soldier. And the reason why you only run 2 soldiers is because you're only going to resolve that effect once. I forgot to mention that back earlier in the video. You're only going to resolve that effect once. So there's no reason to really play 3 because 1, you can search it. 2, if you're like me, you're going to see it anyway, sadly, if it's a 2-up because you always see the cards you really honestly want to search. So you're going to see it anyways. Because let's say you need it, you kind of bricked or you need a different extender or combo piece. Let's say you need a core or something and you draw 2 soldier. Well, you're only going to resolve soldier's effect once anyway, so that other soldier was dead when that soldier could have been core or whatever else you may needed for that matter. So that's why we only run 2, because you're only going to resolve it once. And then another one is Infinity Track. Infinity Tracks have been around in this deck since Harp pretty much got banned. It's a great card. If you don't know what it does, you just overlay into this instead of Nova, and you detach to go search an Earth Machine monster. It's pretty much combo, so you have to have it. Luckily, it's only like 99 cents. And then the last XZ we play is 1 Dingirsu. I honestly want to play 2, but there's literally no room. But then again, there's another card that we have in our side deck because I'm a scrub and I have to run an extra deck card in the side deck because I have no room. But it is what it is. We got to do what we got to do. But if I had like a 20 card extra deck, which Konami really needs to do, oh my gosh, or at least give me 15. I mean, not 15, but 18, because we already have 15, sorry. If we had 18 extra deck, I'll be golden. But no, 1 Dingirsu, explanatory. The last 2 cards we play is Fortress and then Mega Fleet. Fortress Dragon is the card we OTK with. It's the card that it also is good in the mirror match. It's also good against regular Cyber Dragon. It's good against Orcust. It's good against Cyber Orcust. It's even good against that new Machine Structure deck, which is a rogue deck going around now that people are using. It's good against that. You just take their whole board. But that is not how we OTK with it. But if you'd like to see how we OTK with it, then, like I said, get this video to 15 likes and comment, subscribe that you guys want to see it, and I'll make it happen, I promise. And then Mega Fleet is just good because links are still a thing. I don't care what anybody says. They're, my opinion, they're just as, like, they're not going anywhere. They are around just as much as they were before. The only difference is we don't need their zones anymore. But, like, definitely against the Emancipator board, you just summon Core, bait out a negate if necessary. Or you can special summon Cyber Dragon if you have it. Like, use Cyber Emergency, go get Cyber Dragon and special summon it. If you want to save your core because you don't want them to negate it, just special summon Cyber Dragon. And then take their Apollosa and your Cyber Dragon and make Mega Fleet. They can't do nothing about it. They can't react to it because it's a fusion summon. Unless they're going to, I don't know that they could do anything. But I know they can't negate it with like Apollosa or anything like that. But that's the extra deck. 15. It's a really, really tight extra deck, honestly. It's kind of crazy. Now onto the side. If you've seen my videos before, you know I like to make a versatile side deck that I feel in the current format we're in that everybody can use. So, but it's obviously the deck, the side deck, the extra deck is everything. It's all on personal opinion and what you see fit. But I like to try to make a versatile side deck and for you guys. The card that I run a 1 of that is supposed to be in the extra deck is Rampage. Rampage, what a lot of people don't know is with Rampage, he's a level 5. On top of being a level 5, if you feel like someone is siding in the brewery on you, then you just side this in. You take something out. So let's say, for an example, you're going second and they don't really use links. Well, you just take out Mega Fleet. Or if you feel like you're not going to use a certain card in your extra deck, you just take that out and side this in. The reason why is because if you go into Nova and you're trying to play it cautious, because you already have, let's say you already have Orcust in the graveyard to do Orcust shenanigans, and you don't need Infinity Track. Well, you go into Nova, that's your 5th summon, and if they Nibiru you there, you can summon this off Nova's effect, because Nova's effect says if it gets sent to the graveyard, but yada 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 by card effect. Let me double check. It says, I know you're allowed to do it. It says if this card is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, special summon 1 machine type fusion monster from your extra deck. Yeah. So if it's sent to the graveyard, you just special summon this, and it's a level 5, and you can just continue with your shenanigans. You can overlay yada yada yada, and just go from there. Not only that, you can keep this guy on field if you want to, and just have a 2100 beat stick that can attack 3 times by just sending 2 lights from the deck to the graveyard. That's pretty good too. So that's what we run as the one of that should be in the extra deck. Then we run 2 Dark Ruler, side deck card. Combo decks are a thing. Emancipator's a thing. Shaddolls are still a thing. A lot of combo decks are a thing. Pendulums, etc., etc. Even though pendulums are starting to play around this, which I think is crazy, which I'm currently in the works of building a pendulum deck, so be on the lookout for that too. It's just going to take me a while. But I'm running 2 Nibiru as well. I know before in my previous videos, if you guys have seen it, I said Sphere Mode's better, which I still think it is. It's just in this deck alone, you have to run Nibiru, and the reason being is because Sphere Mode takes your normal summon, and this deck is centered around its normal summon. You have to have it. So you need to try to adapt to where you can still have the same result, just playing around the wording. So 2 Nibiru, because it's Nibiru, and who doesn't like dropping Dwayne The Rock Johnson on somebody? And then the next one, because Konami forbids to ban it, is Mystic Mine. You have any combo deck that is crazy, just drop this on it and you can combo off and break their board with ease. I don't know why Konami does not ban this card. I really don't know why. And what's crazy is it's really, in this deck, when you combo off, you never really have more than 3 cards on the field at a time, so you could slowly pick their board apart until you have the same amount, and then just pass, and then Mystic Mine would die. And like I say in all my videos, if you can break someone's board, not likely they can come back. So, and what's crazy too is we only run 2. We don't run a third because it's too bricky and you don't want to see multiples of this anyways. On top of that, if you see this and you already have this, and you can just search Babel with this too. So you can just set your crescendo off of your Galatea instead of searching a Babel, because you already searched it. And then the next is 3 Twin Twister, because I cannot stand back row decks. Oh my gosh, I can't stand back row decks. I hate back row decks, bro. Oh my gosh, I can't say it enough. I hate back row. Exactly. 3 Twin Twister, and you discard an Orcust, and just go from there. Discard an Orcust, blow up 2, blow up Scales, blow up back row, and then you have Orcust combo in the graveyard. And then the last 3 in the side is evenly matched. I know this one's kind of expensive too. If you can't afford this, you can just use hand traps. You can just side in something like just anything really that would take care of everything. Honestly, Evenly Matched is one of those cards. I don't really know what's a more budget option, really. But because it's so like necessary to have. But yeah, that's it for the side deck. 15 aside. Overall, there's not much I think I would change about the deck. I like the deck. I like the way it sits. I like the way it plays. It's very consistent and versatile too. But I feel like it does have the potential to like be brewed by those decks that main deck it, but there's not very many that do. That's why we have it in the side and everything with the Rampage Dragon. I mean the Rampage in the side and stuff. But because the combo is it's a pretty long combo, honestly. But it's a fun combo too. I love combo decks. But that is the video, guys. If you would please like, comment, subscribe. I've seen a lot of people watching the videos, but not really liking it or subscribing or even commenting for that matter. I like reading your guys' comments. I like talking to you guys about the game, whether it has to do with the video or not. I like hearing from you guys and seeing what you guys have to say. So please like and comment and subscribe if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it. The rest of the team does too. So, but yeah, if you get this video to 15 likes and just drop a comment saying you'd like to see the combo video, I'll make it happen and I'll have it made and ready to roll whenever we get this to 15 likes. But with that being said, you guys have a great day and stay safe out there with all this coronavirus going around. You have a good one.